the Carrie house in Roy, Utah. We were called here to investigate the Carrie house. There has been reports of shadows and voices in this house. We have come here to help Miss Carrie and her daughters and to communicate with her sister that has passed. So join us on your first installment of Haunted Utah.
Everybody, season 5. We're going down here at the Carrie house in Roy. Okay, this place has already given me the kind of the shivers and all that stuff. And you know, Miss Carrie, she is a doll. So we're gonna come down into the basement where she says the most activity happens, and she's gonna tell us about the basement.
See, now my heart hurts. Like I feel like my heart hurts.
Is it? Miss Carrie, can you tell us a little bit about what's going on here and what happens here in the basement?
The basement, this right here is where I saw the picture I showed you of like a shaman type. This wasn't in here at the time, and it came all the way up. I had my bed down here when I first moved, so I get everything ready.
I can't believe that.
And the shaman would just look at me every night
It just went off the charts.
during solstice.
So it would just come in and through the window and look at you through the window.
Yeah, it was just right there. Just it's like it's watching over the place. I felt like it was he blessed the land at one time, and you better keep it that way. That, you know, I had that feeling from him.
Have you seen that image, or have you seen any residual energy from that spirit again? Or was that just
No,
one time?
that was just that during solstice actually. That's why I'm hoping it was summer solstice. So or spring. It was spring solstice.
Why
And
are you
that's the one
talking
coming
about?
up.
So
Every time I do,
No, you don't talk to that. You talk to the
there is
spirits that are
something
around
that
you.
you know what that I'm feeling, and that's what's going on down here, and it's that why is there a divide of energy? It's like each space there's like 4 sections here, and it's like as you go through each and 4 sections you feel something different.
And you'll notice the stairs separated in this house. Okay, so you're feeling stuff over here. We've got stairs.
my chest started hurting.
We've got stairs again. This was the old cellar.
That's why it went off the charts.
It runs down.
Oh God, this is where
And this is where
I felt it in the beginning. I was telling her that you know what, that everything starts from the
That's why when
bottom.
you're over there, that's why this
Are
thing
you
went
just
off.
like
He hides under the stairs.
You're not lying, because that's exactly where that thing went off at too.
And then this one is what I think why I
This is what is like that Winchester mansion.
I'm wondering if he got put under the stairs.
You know what? The little girl across the street, I've got a clip of her saying that this same boy, little boy comes to her and he calls himself Cow. And I said, why does he call himself Cow? Because his parents thought he looked that way.
Dude, I'm just tripping how this thing went off the charts up there and that like bad off the charts.
Okay, so
Anytime any kid hangs out in a place like that, under the stairs,
That's why I want to move the poor kid on.
I feel like they were put there.
And you know, in Roy, there was a little boy that died of the guy, one of the cousins, and his name was Roy, and that's why they honored him with the town being named after him. And I'm curious if maybe he didn't have an accident or he was disfigured somehow, and he was maybe.
Because people will do that.
Back
in the
then
day?
they would not let them come
No,
out.
they would
Exactly.
put him away. They'd either put him in
That's the one.
a like a nunnery type thing, or they would
Yeah.
put him in holes.
Or an institute of some sort.
Yeah.
They were embarrassed.
Yeah,
And like he was like
Yeah,
not a
that's the
mayor.
one.
He didn't have mayor then, but that type of thing. Yeah.
You know what?
Something happened to his head.
At one time,
What happened to this one's head?
my chest started hurting right over there.
all the energy, that's why it's a portal. I came here, I felt like something was coming in and out. This is where it's coming in and out. We need to get some clear quartz crystals, and we need to grid this area off, because that's why the house keeps flipping. Like sometimes it feels like the basement up there, and sometimes it feels like here. I keep hearing a male spirit down here, and he's like, let me out of here. I don't want to be here.
No,
So
there's a little boy over here.
a little boy, but it's this.
But
the
something
one-
happened to his head.
It could have fell, but there's also an older man.
You're
who walks
filling
in
it,
here.
huh? And behind you is the false wall.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so then that's
Is that
why.
making sense?
So then that's probably why I'm feeling
Because-
that imbalance.
If you look up in here, there's a ceiling, but that's hollow.
Yeah, it's hollow.
And that's not the other
Can
room.
you
No.
I'm thinking if I could take a knife, because it's easy to fix that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Take a knife and cut something out. You can look in there.
You're probably looking there from up there.
Oh, I'll turn this up. You want this on or off?
I'm wondering if you could
Okay,
stick
you
a
can turn
phone
it
up
off.
there. Remember how Andy did that thing in that other, see that,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Language. He
Yeah.
would put the phone. There's that rope up there.
And he
in
put the
ceiling.
phone, and he didn't even have to go in there. He just put the light
Yeah.
in the phone up.
Oh, speaking of which, you talk about things behind things. Why? I don't know. But there's 2 bottles full of water back there.
Are you sure that water, nobody pee-peed in there, right?
I pulled them out. They're
Okay, good.
it's just like water.
Because
in it.
that's just rude when
I have
construction
no
workers
clue,
do that.
but I have no clue why they'd have 2 jugs up there. You know,
That is random.
it is random. And sometimes that's signs. You know,
What's behind here? Whoa, I'm breaking your stuff.
it's the ceiling. I have no clue. I would assume.
So this just
it's
looks
the
like
front.
somebody's big closet they had.
Well, I think it was the old cellar.
Yeah, to put
I think
foods.
he built the house
Oh.
on top of this.
To put foods, to put canned foods, thick
I think it
canned.
was
Yeah,
under the
you're right,
ground
you're
at
right,
one
that makes
point.
And they shelf it
What
up.
I'm feeling
Yeah.
is that, you know what, there was a lot of illegal like kind of things that happened down
Oh,
here.
it could be
And what
booze.
it is that, because the reason I'm saying is that this house had a ritualistic feel to it.
It was booze.
And it
Well,
was
that's
something.
all what Ogden is tunnels.
You know, they used
It
to
could've
play,
been
I'm saying they used to play cards here.
They used that well.
Okay.
They played cards.
Yeah.
That well was there.
They played
Or
cards
to
here.
make the
And what I'm feeling
booze.
is that
Oh, she's
that
smart.
wall,
We'll
I
show
bet you.
that part.
Yeah, I want to see
This
what
is
This-
this
really lighting up in here.
Yeah, it's getting interesting.
This
Huh?
is
there was a
fun.
lot of, like a more like a lot of, you know, like, cause back in the day, they hid a lot of things, and I'm feeling that that's what's going on. But I think that what it was is that there was upper
That's
class churchmen,
She did. Okay.
okay, and this is where they came and played cards and did, you know, everything, and they had their meetings. And there's also, this is where I felt like I feeling some initiations
Okay.
were made here.
You're also, I think.
Initiations were made.
No, I think you're actually mixing some things that I have in the house. I have a lot of antiques, and you just mixed some things that I have in the garage that you don't even know.
Because I'm telling you, because I'm starting to feel my chest, and that's why, like, when I start clamming up
Okay,
like this.
tell them what you just came up with.
Okay, so,
The water
then
that
I
you
would
say is
have
running
to-
through down through.
okay, so there's water somewhere here. You'll figure it out later. Anyways, there's water. I want to say it's probably something well-like because of what she mentioned to me.
Which she already felt.
But if you
That's what
have
I'm
a well back in the day, you could
This could have been a
distill
prohibition where
alcohol.
they made
You could
the stuff.
distill alcohol.
But it's going deeper than that. That's just the skin.
Yeah.
But what they're telling
But
me about
before
is the
that-
snake that's underneath the ground. They're saying the water that snakes is underground groundwater.
Wow.
And it's a mix of waters that came here. And that's why different tribes of Native Americans came,
Okay.
because they followed those ley lines of that where that water was.
Right.
It was underground. And that's why the
And
hot
that's when
springs
they did the
yes,
rituals and stuff.
and the
all
stuff.
that
And then
right
that's
there.
probably why I'm
And this is the
feeling, oh my
religious
God.
thing that she's
Prior
talking
to
about.
building
Yeah.
here, but why they built here where they built, I think they were probably
Well, just like
doing booze. But a lot of Masons who were LDS, Joseph Smith,
But you
on
know,
his
this
own
was
distillery.
this was not LDS. Actually, the English. Do you know that Utah was not settled when the LDS came?
Yes.
It was settled in the 1840s when the English bought it from the Mexican.
Right, but when Joseph Smith came up here, he actually had his own
Joe.
well.
Joseph Smith, Brigham Young.
Brigham Young had his own well
Uh-huh. There's actually
with a distillery that he made booze. The rule back in the day was
it's to
you
use it.
could,
Oh, they have them all over of Utah.
as
yeah.
long as
And
you
you make
bought from someone who was LDS, if you were LDS, you could not buy,
As long as you make it.
no, they could buy from
But I
another
mean, I'm just saying it
LDS.
has to be made,
Right.
not bought from some other place. Yeah.
No, not
Yeah.
from like, but as long as he, like, Brigham Young made, I think,
It was wine they made more than anything.
it was out in Salt Lake, they had it was.
But they had a brewery too.
Yeah, and
had
they
other
would,
stuff.
and he sent one of the guys Okay, this is the story I got. We actually did a ghost hunt, me and my mom, at a distillery, and one of the other LDS members had built another distillery, because you could buy, you could make, you could sell to other LDS people, but nobody else. Like
Right.
it was all in religion. Well, Brigham Young, I swear it was.
Okay, so what I'm seeing is, though, you're getting one layer, she's getting
Right,
she's
yeah.
getting the first layer, you're getting
In
the
the
second
second,
layer. This is fun. This is fun. I'm liking it. Yeah.
Okay, but you know what?
But we know about that. Yes.
Multiple
Sorry, I didn't
people,
interrupt.
multiple people, or as I say, it's not people so much, it's lineage of what, because they keep telling me, okay, the Lords came over the water. That's what they told me. The Lords came over the water. They telling me that the Lords brought the priest over here, over the water to here.
Which
So
you think
it's
that's
more.
Mayan?
Yes.
Okay.
And so
That's what I thought.
they're saying that, you know what, is that it was a clash of two different cultures in this V that was right here. It was the Europeans, not the Mormons, but they're saying also the Aztec, the Maya,
Yeah.
the things
the
like
way
this.
before them.
And
yeah.
they said that that's what happened is that when that happened, then they went into Mexico, they went into the peninsulas, they went back to the cenotes, they went
They
back.
sold the
yes.
land to this British,
Yes.
the British, and,
And
that's
then-
when the 6 brothers rose.
And this is what I'm telling you that they're showing me. They're showing me. I said the Lords came over the water,
And
and
then
you've
the
been told me
British came.
6. You told me there were 6 of them. Well, there's 6 different families, and there's a big Protestant feel that I'm getting here. Okay.
I can fit. I see. I can
It's a
understand
big
that.
ass Protestant. I'm starting to stutter. It's a big Protestant, but also Catholics. But it was a different form of Catholicism because the church hasn't formulated who the church is to today.
Right.
It was more of on that same, you know, like that base witchcraft. You're a witch. You know, you need to. We're gonna confront you to our ways and change.
Okay.
And that's what I'm telling you is that's where I'm feeling where the Black African energy is coming in here.
Okay.
Because I feel that what happened is that that's why they treated the slaves much better than regular slaves. Because in England, they're telling me, in England they had indentured servitude. It was the same thing. It didn't matter what color your skin was. It didn't matter what it was.
Yep.
So they were already used to that, and they came over here. But they telling me that they needed land to work. They said the Indians got sick.
Right.
They said, that's what they told me straight up. They said that the Indians got sick. And the reason the black people, they didn't get so much sick, but they didn't come as fast as, you know, like the Indians
Right.
and the Mayans, because they said that their immune system was not that good. So once the Transcontinental Railroad came through,
That
it
was-
brought not just people, but it brought culturally that sturdiness that put the backbone to lay, like I say, the spine of the dragon. That's what the railroad is. This railroad is the spine of the dragon. That's what they're showing. And each one of these 6 men, they were not just prominent. They moved on and made their prosperity other places
Yes,
too.
they did. They sold it to the LDS, the Mormons. They sold their land out.
And then that's when Jessica's coming in and she's feeling
And now you're
that
feeling
thing that's
exactly
right
what
there.
they did.
How long have you been taking care of autistic kids?
Through 2.5 years here.
And has any of them ever passed away?
No.
Did you know somebody with a tick that passed away?
Brooks' guardian angel, which was her aunt.
Okay.
Her name is Susan. Just tell her to quit giving it to you.
Okay.
She's very good to just back off.
All right.
She yelled at me the other day.
You can tell her by her teeth.
I'm just wondering because you can see I don't tick, and so
I saw her, and then I was doing genealogy with Brooke, and I found a picture of her, and I said, "This is the woman I see with you." She, well, that's Aunt Susan.
She also made dolls by hand.
I'll have to ask.
But it wasn't like dolls, like porcelain dolls.
No,
or
it was
anything.
little sewing.
They were made from sackcloth.
Okay.
You know, like the old rag dolls, how they used to be like this. I seen that, you know what, they kind of resemble really a voodoo dolls, the way
Right.
the original voodoo dolls are done. Because I see the lady that Jessica's talking about, she was like did healing energy and all kinds of stuff just like that.
Right.
And but you know, she was very in tuned.
And she lived in Tooele.
Oh my God, Tuella's jacked up, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Tuella's
And that's why she hangs here, is because she's so excited that Brooke is part of being able to heal. And she's gonna do more than she ever did because she
Sorry.
I'll ask her mom and stuff if she had the twitch. I don't know.
They
if she
had
did the tick.
meetings here
Somebody
about what
had
they
a
were going to
twitch.
do with the Indians.
Did they?
They said that the Indians were problems. This was like a meeting spot, like you know, like gentry come in your house. Oh, let me have some tea. Or you know, oh, gentlemen, let's go down here and have a cigar while the ladies are upstairs drinking.
Wait till I pinpoint where that energy's coming from. I've got too many. Okay, because my daughter it does the investing. Comes up, all those dolls came from one house out in Hooper. And this other one comes out right from by the temple up in Salt Lake. It was the President Snow's land. And I've got it out in the garage.
The spirits in this house don't like people wearing shoes. They say that it's disrespectful.
You know, and I don't. I totally have that same feeling. That's funny.
You know, it's just like, because I feel like the Japanese, it was like kind of like that. It's like
a respect.
It's a
to the
respectful
house.
thing.
Yeah.
That's why I was making sure that you know, I got on slippers.
I
So
don't
that's
care
why I
they
didn't
are.
even wear no.
I don't ask guests to take them off.
But something, I think that what it is going to is that, like, what did I tell you, Miss Carrie, before? I said that I'm not a surface dweller.
Right.
I like to dig.
Oh yeah.
And by me digging, I'm going to understand that underground filtration that I'm seeing going underground is what led everybody to these certain spots.
Let's go to one other place down here, and then we're going to go to the other spot that you're going to fill out even bigger, if you will.
So that was the basement, the walkthrough, letting y'all know what we're going to be getting into tonight. I'm already feeling strong. So y'all stay tuned. Basement. This place is crazy, man. S.T.O.N.E Paranormal Season 5, the Carrie house in Roy. And we're going on with our basement tour, which is the basement is hardcore, dude. I'm really, really excited. So now we're going to go down here and we're going to see.
It's the antique toilet, I think you'll
Oh, that's crazy.
And it works still. I love the way the girls, they pour the Ajax and don't wash it off. Yeah, pull it. It works. Fully working toilet. You just hold it down until it goes down. You pull the thing, and it's kind of cool, isn't it?
It is cool.
Heck yeah.
That is cool. Never even would have.
And see, this corner right here, coming along this wall right here,
I can.
it's kind of making my stomach upset. Because I feel like something comes out of this
Well,
wall.
the false wall is behind there, too.
But I feel like something comes out of this wall and terrifies whoever sleeps.
Nobody will sleep in here.
See, and I'm telling you.
We need to put a light and something over that wall to see what's in between these walls.
Oh, I got a knife. Maybe we ought to just cut
I'm
that.
not going to
cut a
ask
hole
you to
in.
cut your wall.
No, I've
And
been
you know
wanting
what?
to do it. When
And
you
you-
guys here, why not have fun?
And you want to know what the thing is that it's not a male spirit, it's a female spirit with red hair.
Really?
Yeah. She's like, she was brought in here. She was not connected to the house, but she was brought, her spirit was brought here.
Somebody
Why is she sad?
through the portals.
And she keeps rubbing her stomach. I think she lost her
Why is
child.
she
That
sad?
I think that, you know, she was unwed, an unwedded mother.
Okay.
And I think that her child was just like, I'm feeling the head like right here and the body right here. So it couldn't have been no more than like 6-7 months.
Or it was breach.
And then, or just something, but she's just saying like this, and that's what it was. No, she's saying that they came and they took my baby away.
So it's part of all the other stuff.
That's what she said. She goes,
This is the
she's
land
getting
we're getting
angry.
at.
She's like, how dare they? Why me? That's what she keeps saying is why me? She goes, you said you loved me.
And
Oh my God. And you took our
ask
baby.
her if she's the one that yelled at me last night then.
I heard distinctly yes come through my head. And she says, because you won't listen to me. That's what she's saying. She's saying you won't listen to me.
She told me I was mean.
And she keeps saying you walk right by me and you don't acknowledge me and I'm asking you for help. And she's getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And that's why she's doing things to make her presence known.
And then she told me that Brooke was hungry and I'm mean not to give her to her now. She had a fever 3 days ago. And you don't feed them when they're in the middle of a fever like that and a sore throat, you know. I think heaven's just a day, but
she keeps telling me go into the cellar and bring me roots. Go into the cellar and bring me. She goes, I need to go into the cellar.
So she's from the original land.
That's what she keeps telling me. She goes, I got to go into the cellar, and she's saying that it's cold outside. She goes, it's snowing, and I don't have no family. I don't have any. He said he loved me. Why did he bring me here?
I like it.
That's what she's telling me. And she said they took my baby because I was not wed.
Well, I am so sorry I have not helped you. I felt you, but I didn't know who you was. I apologize. Maybe tonight we can connect maybe a name or something and help her out move on. That's exciting.
Her name was Clarice.
Clarice. That's a beautiful name, girl.
She said, but it has a thick accent to it.
Ireland?
Clarice.
She said Clarice.
Clarice.
You know, it's just like when you say it,
German.
it's like it's saying some shit like, my name is Clarice.
French. I feel French.
French, that's the first thing I did.
Just the way you said that.
So red hair?
I feel red there. You can
Red
get
hair.
from France. Yeah.
Scotland, all that stuff is right there. It wasn't red like fire red.
It was
It was a dark blood
It's
ginger auburn. It was like that's what it was.
I've seen it all.
And it looked, and she said you only see the red when it's in the sun, but she goes mostly it looks like a dark brown.
And I feel French. I feel like c'est bon chérie, on talking this way.
There's something really, I'm just saying that if we're going to do anything tonight, Jessica, we're going to have to set up a camera. Whoa.
And you can move anything you need to move, just so you know.
This is off balance. There's something that was
Here.
before.
Water.
It was something because I felt off balance. I felt.
This is okay. You talked about the fork. Okay, now feel it here and where you was in there. Now let me show you where it stems from, shall we?
This is crazy.
I can't wait to see her out there.
Right? I'm gonna go smoke out front real quick.
You go for it.
I just burped so the spirit.
I'm not that
left me.
fast of a walker.
Remember, Jacob, what I told you.
You know what she says in there. We already discussed it.
You know what? As usual, our investigations always turn out the way they're going to turn out. Nothing turns out the way that you expect them to turn out. Me, Jessica, Tanya, Jacob, Andy, Chris, we all came up in here under the pre-notion that, we would come in this, investigate some claims that were going on in this house. And what we did find out was there's a lot going on in this house that can't just be done in one investigation. We're going to have to come back again and tie in all of these things. And I think by us going to the cemeteries and all the things around here in Ogden or Roy, I think that eventually the last place should be the first place that we started in. And so I just want to let everybody know is respect of the family. Miss Carrie was very, very nice to us. She gave us a lot of history on this house. She gave us a lot of history about her family. And you know what? And me, Jessica, we came through here. We did our psychic thing like we always did. And right here on camera, we're going to be able to show you the evidence that was backed up that what we felt. But as a community and as a family, we feel like we need to come back here again. This is not something that can be done just one time. We have to come back again. So this is the end of part 1 of the Carrie house in Roy, and look for the second part. And I have a feeling that it's going to be our conclusion and our closing once we do the rest of the investigations and everything that we're doing. So thank you for watching us. Subscribe. You can get us on Gorrilla Mafia Media LLC. You can check us out on Instagram at Gorrilla Mafia. You can also check us on on Facebook, same thing, Gorrilla Mafia Entertainment. And just stay tuned, and all these pieces are going to come together, and we're going to figure out what's really going on here in the state of Utah, especially this Ogden area. Peace.
He outlived
I should
everybody.
figure out what
Dad
blue
just
means,
died
huh?
by 3 and had all of that. So.
Tammy, are you in here with us right now?
said
can
yes.
touch it?
And I just said, yeah, well, no, she's
Well, she
talking.
just asked if Tammy was in there.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
And
Okay.
this one just,
Tammy, is there something that you would like for your sister to know? You can come close. Listen, you know what the deal is. This is not your first rodeo. You know what these equipment and all these things are and everything just like this. We're here because I want to know how famous you want to be. So can you come closer?
Oh, she's here.
yep.
There it is.
Love it,
I mean,
Tammy.
my dad said
Yes.
no.
That said no.
Yeah, but she's there, so that doesn't make any
She's
sense.
hiding.
Maybe she doesn't know how to use it. I don't know what that does.
I want to know.
Okay, so it's green now. Is that yes?
Green. Well, it's red and green, so that's a.
And it's also a proximity sensor, so
And
if
this-
something
But
moves
do we
closer
need to
it-
tell her how to use it?
No,
No.
that's how strong she is.
Oh,
See how that is?
Okay, that's why I'm asking her direct
But
questions.
that's why I put it to
Okay.
where it. Does that make sense? So you're moving, it's not going to do anything.
No, but earlier when it was going on,
Are we taping
Yeah.
it?
you weren't even touching
Oh, I love it.
Tammy, I know that you asked to be brought into this room because I think you wanted to be closer so that you can manifest yourself. But there's somebody else in here too. It went off.
Besides Mom and Dad and Bruce. Bruce is the fiance that just passed. If you're here, Bruce, I'd like to know why you're here. Does that mean yes? So
Listen,
you promised me you'd do some things, and telling the truth to your family, why didn't you do it? I guess that's
he was
bad
a
question.
coward.
He was.
And that's what he said. He says, I was ashamed and I was a coward and I didn't know, he didn't. How can I say, you know when somebody don't want to put themselves in a situation because they don't want to be in that situation?
They don't want them to know they've lied all their life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I give you that much. I know that.
My equipment does shake.
But what's up with his sexuality?
She's never even asked me to do that.
Definitely
Keep looking at.
manly man.
You know, that's what I'm saying. But you know what, when somebody acts like
Oh, that
that,
blue means that
He
blue's
was
in
drunk.
proximity, isn't it?
All most of his life.
That
And
far
he
out.
learned,
There's
and he was a
something
police
right around the edge
officer
of
up
the
here
room.
in
Okay, that's what it is.
Clinton. He was
It's
the
picking up
chief
on
of
something
police
right
for
around the
years.
back edge of all of
Yeah,
us.
Yes.
so that's you, Bruce?
Yeah. It's picking up
Yes.
on something around the edge of us. That's what I'm
Move your foot.
asking.
Yeah, that's purple. That's
So you
so
Move your
purple means
foot.
up to-
within like
purple means up to 7 feet.
up to 7 feet from that when it
Like
starts glowing blue.
A spirit or
Yes,
oh
yes.
yeah?
Because
You
it
know-
would pick up on us if it was us.
Oh okay.
what's
It's not.
going on is that we hit a sore point with him.
Is this drinking?
It was the drinking and about his
Okay.
sexuality. It wasn't saying he was gay or anything else like
just
this.
that he wasn't man enough to stand up and didn't have balls
Yes,
to tell us
yes.
what he wanted. Yeah.
He was,
I
but
told
he
him that
did
many
not
times.
portray himself like that. To everybody else,
No.
he portrayed himself to be the strong, independent, like
Right.
whatever the hell it is like this. But it was always me. It was always me. And now he's getting a little bit of frustrated like he do because then when he
Okay.
likes to browbeat people.
What's that bleach smell?
Uh-huh.
Does anybody here smell bleach?
It's the bathroom.
Oh, I did put bleach in there to sterilize the.
Oh, you're fine.
But I didn't smell it at all until just
He
right now.
flushed it.
I
though.
flushed it,
He
though.
flushed
Oh,
it.
okay. I was like,
I
what?
smelled it the second
That-
I got in the
that-
room and I
I-
started
yeah.
peeing. Like,
Another
it-
spirit just
I'm
came
so
in.
sorry I didn't
Oh,
flush
no,
that
you're
before you went
okay.
in.
No worries.
It just needed a good bleach. Trust me.
Did you have a very dear friend that was dear to you that passed away?
Yes.
Bruce's sister, Kay? And I haven't heard from her.
She's
She just did.
no, because I'm telling you, because
She did?
she just came
She
through.
answered.
Kay answered?
And see, and that's what, because the thing
I
about
got
it,
some things of hers in here too.
but you see, I'm just saying from what I'm picking, I'm also holding this dang thing because it's calming me
It's
down.
Bruce's older sister. And she was, I helped her get rid of her cancer when I first met her. Yeah.
She's singing some old songs to me. like some Janis Joplin kind of stuff.
That
you know,
would be something she would do.
you know, like, you know, Mama and the Papas kind of things. That's what she kind of doing. And she just like, she had a certain rhythm to her that you wouldn't think that she had to her.
No, never. Because there's Bruce, there's Kay, and then their sister Ellen Kay lived with, and she abused Kay so bad. You're so stupid. Go in the other room. Go
That's
back to
because
your
she was jealous of her, and the person that did that was jealous and about their own life, so they took it out on her because she had that light, and they were jealous of everything that was good about her.
And when she went with me, you know, when I was living in St. George, we'd go do things and she could be herself for once. And we had a lot of fun. And then Bruce would come with us.
How long were you with Bruce?
You know, he lived by my dad when I took care of Dad for 8 years. And so Bruce, about 6 years I knew him, but he was married in the beginning.
Oh,
Yes. You were married.
Yes.
Yep.
That's what
And
she
he came over, he came up here when I moved up because he couldn't live with that down there. And then he got to know his kids again. And he didn't really and he got cancer of the rectum. And it was, when the rectum, you're pooping all the time. You know, he didn't want me to be around him with that. So he didn't really, no, don't come over.
Then that explains why I asked you about his masculinity.
Okay. That's
why I asked you about, see, boom. That's like the pop, boom, goes the dynamite. That thing is completely ain't showing no color up. That's when I said that about his sexuality.
Straight bounced.
Because he don't know nobody talking about his booty.
No,
Yeah,
exactly. He's done. But that's who was in here.
Okay. Well, I wondered because, see, the picture up there was my parents. And Bruce took the original frame off like it had kicked his butt because it was beautiful. But that's a one.
Why did he do that?
Because he was going to surprise me with it.
Surprise!
His son-in-law built one out of barn door. And it wouldn't have fit on my whole wall up here. It was so big. And it was ugly on that picture. And that's one out of 100 prints of Russell, a painter from the early 1900s.
Okay.
Or anyway, it's a very expensive painting or print. And
That's what I love about you. You got all this crazy ass stuff up in here, and it's just beautiful art to you. It's like a second thought that damn, this could be worth something like this, but it's like you look at the beauty of it.
It's just a piece of, and if you notice, I don't.
Like I said, he loved you. He just made poor choices, and he didn't want to hurt anybody. He made choices.
Yeah, he didn't want to hurt his kids, and he knew I'd still love him, is the way I look at it.
His choice
So
was he got married. Then his choice was to make another choice, and then his choice was to do this, but he don't want to hurt nobody.
Who liked young girls?
He did.
Yeah. Bruce did.
Bruce did.
When he was drunk, that's the reason I hated. Oh, wait a minute. No, don't you tell me he's here. No,
That's not Bruce.
No.
There's another person
There's
that
another
liked
one?
young girls.
He better not come in. Is he
They're
here?
trying to leave.
Oh, in the name of Jesus, you are not. He abused my daughter. Oh, hell no, Ed. You get out of here in the name of Jesus Christ. You're not allowed to even talk to me.
He said, "Make me."
Oh, I will. Trust me. I'll make you. You are not allowed anywhere near my family.
He's the one that's been around the girls downstairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I saw coming out of that corner. It was him.
Of the other girls. Oh, so now you're trying to get into that. Oh, no. You're out of here.
31.8.
Yeah, it's him. I'm feeling him.
Ed Birmingham. He's one evil boy. Oh, so, and that's when my mom said she hated.
And but now he's coming around. I just hear like the clicking of boots.
Yeah.
You know, I hear the clicking. The thing about it is that
Oh, Ed didn't do boots. Bruce did.
But when I mean the clicking of boots, you know, like when old wood floors and your feet make different sounds on those old wood floors.
Oh, the old wood, and see that's he taught in the old school, which is the old wood floors, and that's verifying that it's him.
Because I'm telling you, that's exactly what I see. But this is what I'm saying to this. He can go fuck himself. Excuse my language.
No,
real
please
talk is
tell
off
him
camera,
that. That's one
it
word
is,
I
because
don't
you know
use.
what? Because that man was a predator. And when I mean he was a predator, it wasn't just that baby that was abused. There was other people that were abused too.
He abused so many.
And he was kind of sadistic in his ways, because the more pain that he gave them, or the more they screamed, or the more he loved it.
Yep. And the more he could connive everybody around him that he was he was a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
A teacher.
That's how he hid it.
Yeah.
And he also hid behind the good book.
Oh yeah, I'm Catholic, and the way he got me to, I was gonna boot him out. I just would
see how
love
he came
the
up when I'm
chance.
holding your mama's picture, and I told you there was one of them that your mother absolutely hated.
And Mom, get rid of him for me. Dad, please.
I'm gonna get rid of him.
Please.
That's not that he.
Oh, you get him out of my whole.
That's what I said. My
family's
dolls,
place.
everything. Like
I
said.
think he's pulling May down, my daughter. I think he's pulling her down health-wise still. And she doesn't really do stuff with this, you know. And I told her.
Has one of them girls, one of the babies that you keep here, has any of them had like some strange marks, like scratch marks or something, or skin red, or what it is like that? Because he's preying on them while they're sleeping. He hovers over them while they're sleeping.
And she sees a shadow over her.
And he watches them undress.
Oh, hell no. Get him out of here, please.
Okay.
Please. No, he is not
He
around.
was more of a peeping Tom. You know, like I'm saying,
yeah.
one of those people
Totally.
that you would have never thought it was like that. But that was the reason that he was a teacher, because he was, or what it was like that, is because that was his way to easily have that prey, or whatever it is like this. I just keep him saying, don't tell nobody nothing. This is, like he tried to make it seem like it was something godly.
Oh, that's exactly what he used. He says, I'm Catholic, and he preyed on my spirituality, the fact that I'm spiritual, and I tune into things, and he preyed on that. And I assumed, I knew something was going on, but my daughter was 13, and I kept asking her, May, and she says, no, we're honest, Mom, nothing, don't worry about it.
He had that
Don't worry
hold
about
on it. He touched her again.
Oh, he
and
did,
again.
He did
and
more
again.
than just touching.
Oh, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm not disrespectful.
Over and
over again. And how old was she when he first came into the picture?
13.
She was younger.
13.
She was 13. But she wasn't 13 yet when he came into the picture. She was getting ready to be 13.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. No more than a week of him coming into the picture, he was already abusing her.
That's what she told me.
And that's why she's still here, right?
Oh yeah.
She's still here. Well,
But her health is, because of that, her bones, it made her bones not grow correctly. She has got problems like up the yin yang with her health in different ways because of, she stands tall. She's just like my mother too, and she just
that's because
going.
he was brutal with her, and he
Yes.
he ripped or broke something that was inside of her.
And
that's the cause of fix, and it was repeatedly, and her body wasn't developed yet.
Exactly.
And so it's like, like you put something in a roach motel, you know what I'm saying? They're going to come in and then boom, boom. But some of them, we know roaches can live through any damn thing, okay? So some of them going to run away. But the point being is that I think that she fit the mold of what it was that truly was his lust, what he was attracted to, the way she was shaped, her hair color, her eye color,
everything.
and I'm telling you, he did it to more than one person.
Oh yeah, he did it to his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And his daughter, his ex-wife left him for another woman, and she was a lawyer and was going after him for things, but I didn't know what and all that kind of stuff. I figured it was just, whatever. But his daughter would not hang around him. And he always told me, I just wish I had a chance to show what a good father I would be.
I
liked him. He was the epitome of what I would want.
But Mom, I'm gonna tell you something like this, Miss Carrie. Listen,
And
he told you anything that you wanted to do to get to what he really wanted.
No, he never did anything with me. Never held my hand, nothing.
But you had what his injury. He was a sick puppy for a long time since he was a child. When he was a child, he used to abuse animals.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That doesn't shock me.
You know, like
I think
like
he abused his
he would,
sister, too.
He would kick him, or you know what, or he would like he just had this fascination that he would go off into his own. He had like a weird, like crafty, like did like the crazy shit. You know, like I'm saying, like he would just go off and he would like, well, I need my man den. I gotta have my space, you know, to do what it is like this. And I'm surprised that, you know what happened with him is that he made a deal with the devil and the devil came and collected.
I hope the devil takes him way under and keeps him there.
No, I'm gonna make sure he's done. I'm gonna make sure.
Thank you.
I just need you to give me all these people that we're
What is
doing.
the bleeping I keep seeing? Blue
They're
light.
taking
They're
pictures.
taking pictures.
Okay, because I'm like, what the
Me
heck
too. I
is-
saw that too. I was like, what's going on?
Okay, got it.
You know what? That's why he, you know, and I felt that spirit when I first came up in here, and I was just like, yo, you better give me 50 freaking damn feet, man. I mean, you're gonna have problems.
You know, I have every year looked up on the internet to see if he'd passed away yet, because
he's hiding.
He was hiding totally, because May finally turned him in and everything, and you know, you can look up for obituaries and stuff like that. You put the name in, and I could never find it. One night I felt my mother there, and all of a sudden on my computer screen it popped right up his obituary. And I'm like, he did die, and it's exactly where in Wisconsin where he was living.
Wisconsin is where all the damn serial killers and sociopaths.
His dad was.
All them crazy.
His dad hobnobbed with Hitler. Need to we say any more?
What, oh my God! Was
He
his
had a
dad? Was
bunch
his
of
dad?
Hitler's things.
Who was a truck driver? Oh, they used to go from state to city to city to state. I don't know if there was like an old carpet bag seller or you know they.
My grandpa was. That plate that you see back there. He sold those when he was
Do you
16.
love us? Because this isn't going to be a one-time investigation.
I know.
What you say.
No,
I know.
of course I love you. No, there's no way it's gonna be a one time.
It's not.
You guys
We're
are
gonna have
getting,
to come back.
you know, and I have so badly wanted people to feel what I feel, and you guys have connected with every little piece of something that's in this house, anywhere from before Mayan time. These were way back.
And see, and I don't know that I even do that unless it's like a past life history. I pick up on newer.
But you're picking up on things too, though.
Right, but
But
not the
different-
older, it's a
No,
different.
she's in the she's down there in that lower level, but she's also picking up on, and I am so
That's
glad
because
you
I
picked up
walk
on
with the
that.
dead 24/7. I am an authentic 100% voodoo mambo, okay? And I was crowned, and I went through my console and everything, and every spirit that I had.
Yeah, and I
was
heard
dead.
you with what was you doing with the rocks? Talk to me. What exactly were you saying? What was the thing that you was talking about with that?
They were talking to me.
I love it. Talk to me.
And now that's what it is because each one of the energies that were coming off of those rocks, it was like my mind kept going through a whole bunch of stages of things. It was like different things, you know, like civilization built, civilization's gone. Atlantis was here, Atlantis is gone. Lemuria was here, Lemuria is gone.
So they're from the ancient
Yes,
world. That's
what
I
it
figured
was
they were.
is that it wasn't so much that they came from the ancient world. It was the hands that touched them were very, very ancient.
Okay.
And that means that the memories and the imprint that is left on those rocks.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
It's like it's doing it. And that's what I said about Jessica.
Well, they say don't lay on a rock when you're camping because it could kill you. Because if the imprint was a horse going over, it could literally kill you.
Yes.
By feeling that horse coming over. I'm
Yes.
just saying. I understand fully what you're talking.
And so that's what I'm saying. Jessica sees a lot more things that are topside. Me, if it comes to the dead,
I am freezing. It's just
I
weird.
know, and
I
my
don't
whole
freeze
feet.
in
Look,
my
I took my
house.
thing off. My feet are
I
like
am just shivering. And then I've got this. This has got layers in it too of different levels. This is a different level of. If you notice, it's I'm an amateur archaeologist also.
Dude, I dig to. I'm trying to tell her about me. Gotta be digging.
Yeah, she likes
How long have you lived in this part? Have you ever lived in Logan?
No,
Never.
like that one.
Do you ever live in
It's
Tremont?
almost that's a fish hook, but the fish hook's off of it. Tremont, no.
Good, dude. I'm stuck.
Technically I don't know if I've ever been to Tremont. Logan I have. My sister lived in Logan though.
My mom was from Logan.
Was she?
Yeah.
My sister, that's alive. I have two sisters. One's passed, one's alive. And I always tell Tammy, by the way, get that thing out and ask her, why the heck did you leave me and Jody alone?
This one is stronger than this one, but they're like passive and aggressive, like yin and yang. The energy goes together because it becomes a balance. Even if you look at the way that they sit upon each other, and you know, and everything else like this. But this one right here is to hold something down, to keep it grounded.
Right.
So if you don't want something to come, I'm telling you, better start utilizing the shit you got, okay? Because this shit is some real magical shit. This right here is that you could take somebody's name, write it on parchment paper 9 times, and stick this on it, and it will hold them down so they can't come up.
Oh yeah?
Yes, and this one right here, this one is to catch things and to bring things like for your prosperity.
Cool.
So you like this one, I would carry this in my purse. And you know what? And then when I come home, you should have just a plate and put this in there and put a bunch of change around it and let its home be coins.
Okay.
Because for some reason, this was as good as money.
Well, it was a fish hook, and the only thing that's missing on it is the hook.
But fish
But that's
feed.
what I know. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been going to Logan? Like,
Yeah.
This room definitely needs to be blessed if these girls are staying in here, because this corner is still messing me up. She said nobody's staying in here, right? But somebody comes down here a lot. Jessica, remember the last time we was in the bathroom? We was at the old toilet. You remember? And that spirit talked some cat shit about us. It did not want us in there, dude. And I was like, no, dude, we gonna handle this.
yeah, I remember.
Okay. Oh. So you like to hide up here in this bathroom, huh? You like to hide here in this closet right here.
That's why the girls won't come
Who's
down
here?
here.
Oh, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.
Wow.
It's a mirror, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Toilet's good, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Good. Mirror's gone then.
Look at.
Yep.
Put that on.
That, yeah, hold on, let me get that on footage.
Put it towards the sink. Why do you keep bringing me up in this fucking room?
So when you got sink, it
Hold on,
was
hold
the
on.
mirror
Let me
above
zoom
the
in on
sink you were thinking about.
Okay. Look at that.
10.1.
It's the mirror, it's not the toilet.
Okay. Look right there. That side of the mirror. Go to the other side of the mirror. Right there. See it? Right there. Yep. That pane.
Went away on mine.
Wait, that's what I'm saying. That's why the mirrors, you can't cleanse that thing. Because he's playing with it.
Oh, and I was going to tell you, there's no other way to get into that room besides cutting it. They have it sealed off.
Yeah.
In the seal, it has a ceiling to it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I say there's
Yeah.
some. I'd like to, on that other side where it's just sheetrock. One of these days we'll cut into it and look, see what's in it.
Okay, so if you're the man that nobody wants here, can you come and make this turn red, please? Come closer to these lights and touch it, please. Closer. Closer. Oh, you want to play?
Ask if it's Ed.
Ed, is this you?
He just said, get out.
Ed, no. Nobody's getting out.
He's moving through the pipes with the
He's-
water pipes.
He's playing.
That tubing's the water pipes.
Okay, Ed, come here into this room. Clearly you like this mirror a lot. Yeah? Okay, make it turn red.
Let me test the theory or something.
Like Gwen's touching your water. How you feel about that? Nope. Come closer. Ed, come closer. Do you go in the attic, Ed? Why are you playing? Don't be mean. Come talk to us. Closer. Get out of this room, Gwen. Get out of this room, Gwen. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. Move with me. Come on, out. Get off of her.
In the name of Jesus Christ, get off of her. Son of a bee. No loud around any of these guys. In the name of Jesus Christ, any evil leaves this house, and that includes you, Edward Birmingham the Third, as he would put it.
Gwen, you don't come in this bathroom again. If you want to film in here, Jacob, film in here. I'll leave my,
Great light up.
actually, I'll leave, yeah,
Put that on the.
on the
Put that on
mirror.
12.9.
I'm taking Gwen up to the
But Gwen's not allowed to come in here. And you're gonna want to keep it pretty dark in here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna clear out. Do the Jerry. Do a Jerry. Bam.
Oh.
Moo. Did I hear moo?
They used to call that little boy cow.
No, I just heard him. Yeah.
Ed, you seem to want to take control over everything. Are you controlling all the spirits down here so they won't speak to us? You're a young pregnant woman, red hair, sad. We're here if you want us to hear your story.
I want to see what you feel out here. Is the stem of the water. I think it's where the forks came together.
This is where the souls gather.
Okay.
Right up in here, this is where the soul gather. There is a big gathering, like a whirlpool of energy.
Okay.
And
Oh, that looked real. I almost got hungry.
As you move across.
Yeah, that looked real.
right here.
My daughter has a TV show, so.
Nice.
Right here. I feel
Okay.
a lot.
In the corner.
I feel a
when I
hard
first-
catching my breath.
When I first moved in, there was a little hole in the cement right under here. Little hole about this big. I had a geyser fly through here. It was it filled within 30 minutes. It was like this much water in here.
Wow.
And nobody can tell me where that water came from. We plugged it off, And it's not, you know, the plumber came in and they actually was able to not have it come up, but it's under their.
It could be like the old well.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
what
well
I'm
of
thinking.
souls, and that's what it is that things are circling because I keep passing through timelines here.
Okay.
I don't when I came down,
I'm so
I was
glad somebody else feels that in this house but me.
I swear to God, Miss Carrie, I feel like I'm passing through timelines. You understand? Like I see different things happening, and I see different things portraying themselves out. I see things happening when there was just a tent here on this land.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Before they even built, because
Right.
they built this house here for a reason. They built this on this for this piece right here for a reason, because there's something very sacred. And the reason that they're telling me that the Native Americans, that they were getting killed and murdered, and that, you know, they had a lot of strife and things was happening because the Native Americans were spreading truth, you know, like now, like truth things, and they were telling people about the spirits of the land. They were telling about how to love the land. They were doing like this, but that wasn't what they wanted, because the people, the Caucasian people, the light-skinned people, they felt that they wanted to control, so they made, like what they said, false. They made what, like they said, my head is starving. They said they made, you know, they had to make them bow down.
Okay.
So they killed their women and their children first.
So sad. Hence the little boy that goes down there.
Yeah. Whew. They killed the women and the children first. And they raped the women and then they killed them. Oh God.
That's the energy that we're gonna go out this way, by the way. I can move that stuff. Alright, now we go out in the garage. We're gonna go that way.
Why?
Don't want it?
No, I'm just asking.
Well, just because.
Because,
You can go whichever way you want to.
you know, because I want to go straight here in this corner.
Uh-huh.
Right here, behind this.
Figured she would want to be in that corner.
This is where he's at.
Where he at all is the guy who lives here, there was 4
This is where that dark spirit that I was
Whoa,
feeling.
24.
Yeah, this is where he's at.
Whoa.
It's like 10 times colder here than it was in the thing. This is where he's at. This is where he slinks around and he.
This was so full of, if I would have
My head
the house, I would have kept all this.
is, look at all this copper. This is how this is all doing, because copper brings things to you. Copper is a magnet, and all this copper is out.
Now go behind you, that white thing behind you. What do you feel with that?
The light,
No, the white wood. White
this,
thing. Go in front of it.
this is probably close to one of the oldest things in this house.
It was what I took out of the up on Almond Street up by the temple.
That's why we're getting mixed Mormon and something else energy up in here. And it's because it's connected to this.
That thing has such good energy. I was going to sell it to somebody. Somebody's going to pay me $7,000 for it. And somebody told me, you cannot sell me.
Because it has a life and a spirit. Because you know why?
In front of it.
This was the centerpiece of the house. This is where everybody, they prayed, they ate, they slept around it, and everything else. Because it was too cold to go in other rooms. So they all, where this was at is where everybody was at. Now the funny thing about this is that something has been altered on this. Something has been altered.
And I want you to hold this. Okay, and if you look back here, you can see the original wood. Okay, and it has the original tag. It was built in 1873.
This
Back behind here.
this energy and the energy of this house, these are two totally different things.
You notice the
This
things that
from
came out,
somewhere
that's
else.
how they hooked to the wall?
This came from somewhere else.
Nope.
It came from here?
No, it came from with this.
That's what I'm saying, but this,
Oh, yes.
it came from somewhere else, because that's what I'm saying. I feel this
That's
was
the
not-
tile that was in front of it. And it dating that tile back, because there's quite a few of them has mark on it. It comes from the same place that they bought the tiles for the Mormon temple, and the same year.
That's why we kept filming all the Mormon stuff that was here.
That's why I said you're connecting on this. This is, and I think the one thing that changed is I think they put this on in the 50s, because this is a 50s
Something,
look
as I
of the
said,
front.
this was altered. This metal, back then, that was not what it was. It would have been wood or something around it. And that's why they said that they're telling me that's why in a lot of homes these things used to burn up. So they have to use a special kind of wood.
Right. And they actually closed it off and they didn't use it after they put that on there.
This
They
was
used it
built
as a
with
look.
green wood. And it
Was it?
aged naturally.
And-
Meaning because they said that's how they were able to
Comes from
mold
back
it.
east too.
And they said that's how they were able to mold it. Like when you
Sweet.
put steam or something like wood and you make it burn like that, that's what's going on.
And this needs a home too, by the way. You know anybody who could use it? I've got the tiles that you went in front of it. They're absolutely
What I want
beautiful.
is this piece right. One of these pieces when we get ready to this. Add that to my spooky collection.
Do it. Take it.
You ain't got to tell me
You
how
look
to
in there
shit.
and feel which one you want, though. There's quite a few. And these are
You
the
gave
styles.
me, Miss Carrie, you gave me what I needed.
You know what, though? You can have... This tells you the layers of it. This is the original, and then that's the 50s. That was to the side of it.
Something happened in front of this. Something happened in the family. I don't know if it was a death in the family. I don't know what it was in it, but that is what it is. But you know what? There's something else that's a little bit more fucked up in here than this.
Okay? Tell me what it is.
Heidi just got here.
Please tell me what it is. Come over in maybe this area. Over in here. Amongst
Where did
this
them
stuff.
flags come from?
The flag?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was my son-in-law's. I was supposed to send that to him in Iraq, and we never got it to him.
You need to do that.
Yeah, he lives here in town. I should
Or so, even though no matter what,
get it to him.
emotions like this, what you put out into the universe will come back into the universe.
Sure.
That needs to be passed on. But that's not what it is. But it
That's not
is.
what it's-
There's a picture or something in that box of somebody.
Really? That's all my pictures, my mother's things.
Is your mama gone?
Antique, yes.
Okay.
She's the one, she passed about 14 years ago.
She's saying that, you know what? Your mom is telling me straight up, she goes, you know what? I used to love going out into the yard and just
My mama.
look. And she's saying that, you know what? She goes, I'm looking and everything is dead here. Meaning that guy, what did I tell you before? I said you need to put some kind of water in this house.
Yep.
And whatever is because your mother's energy is stagnant. It's not, she hasn't moved on. She hasn't went down. She's been stagnant because she's saying she's not happy about what happened after she died with her possessions.
She's not happy at all with any of that stuff and how they treated me.
Yes, and that's what she's telling me. So
And
she's
this is one that's real hard for me to go through because I cry if I even go through
but tears are cleansing.
I know, and I've got to get out here and do it.
No. What she wants you to do is to take that box and go outside in the fresh air
And just get out of the house and go do it.
and do it. She said if you do it here, it's gonna stay. But if you go outside, she goes.
Let's go.
She's like, I told you once. Why am I telling you again?
That's mama.
She's like, this is what we got to do. She goes, that's what her main motto was like this day. You work.
I can so see her telling me that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's saying so you can appreciate the little things in life. That's why your mother, in her own way, she didn't give like how you give, but she gave in the wisdom and the knowledge that came out of her mouth. Because she would just sit there and look at people.
When I take care of kids, and that's what I did all my life. I took care of hardcore kids in between kids, and she was right there with me, helping me with this, that, and the other. She was my...
But your mama
Strength.
did that too. The kids in the neighborhood, everybody flocked around her. That's
They
what
did.
she told me. They
They
said
loved
she
her.
said they all flocked her. They said because she would bake, she would do like the crazy
yeah.
things. That's what she's telling me.
That's my
But
mama.
she's telling me like this. She goes, but my mother's life was harder. Your great grandma, she's saying her life was hard. I'm
my
starting to get
grandma.
a headache. They're coming too close to me right now. And I'm just telling you.
This is an area too, just so you know. These are my son-in-law's things, and his ex-wife's stuff. Then I've got my stuff back in here. I've got this. There's a lot of energy, different energy in this area.
What is that thing? That triangle thing on your...
I'll come look. I do not know.
Go ahead. Where Andy's going that way.
And do you see this? My family owns a national park and lived up in there. And that's one of the paintings that they did of their home.
Where did this come
You
from?
can choose.
You're just somewhere right here.
Here.
Oh, and it went away.
Here.
No, 3.2. Yep. It's
Behind
right
me.
here. Right here.
Behind me.
I'm gonna take a picture.
It's following me.
Yeah, there's something here. 9.4. Okay, no. No way. Alright, take a picture. Take a picture. Something, maybe an orb or something.
Can you put this somewhere, babe? Whoa, stop it.
I can stop it.
I'll make a trade.
This is the one, yeah, we'll make a trade. This is for the
you giving me a
bride.
doll?
This is for,
No, because those two can't be apart. But there's something behind that one, and I don't know what it is.
no, but I'm just saying, this is her box, the one that I gave you.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
So tell me
that's
she
her
was
box.
giving me a doll?
Yeah.
You didn't get me a doll. I'll give you one of the ones from
This
the
is,
that
I
smell
think,
like
this
graveyard
box.
dirt.
This could have been hers, actually, because it's bigger. I bet that's because she's bigger.
You don't want one of my graveyard dirt smelling dolls? Why not?
Because that doll freaked me out.
That doll, there's
And
something.
and the bride was inside of here, and she looked like this, you know, and then I took her out. She was so beautiful, and I'm like, yeah,
But these two, like I said, I'll make a trade with you. These two right here. Okay, no, they're not having no. I'm gonna hook this shit up.
I've got my handprint up in Merker on one of the walls. We put our hands up there, or we put
You
our
know they
names
tore
on the
that
wall.
whole town down, right?
Yeah.
And do you know
Long
that
time ago.
also that the spirits came and told me why all those children were buried up there, and it wasn't just white kids, it was a whole bunch of kids, because there was a mining accident with the what is it, the mercury or uranium, whatever
Mercury.
it was, mercury that they were using for mining
And
up
that's
there.
why they had to shut it down.
And it got into the water supply, and it poisoned down to Tuella and everything. And also that other place that's up there, J, it begins with the J, is another haunted town that's up like between Ophir and this, and it's right up, and it's hard to get to. It's right, the Jamestown, something like that.
It's right next to it.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
It's
either.
right up the hill from me.
Right.
A little
But you
farther.
That mirror is a portal. It has to be.
It is going through the water pipes of this house, and that's how he's able to move.
Yeah, well, Ed's a real pain in the ass.
Oh, Ed's gone. He's a done fucking deal. I got his ass. She already paid in full for him to go. Where are we gonna put all that beautiful?
I'm not worried about that. Because somebody gonna touch him.
That's what I got you up front for. You my.
Yeah, Ed's a dick.
Guess
man.
what? Guess what I'm naming her?
Please don't name her Ed.
Guess what her name is? Well, everybody, you know what? As usual, our investigations always turn out the way they're going to turn out. Nothing turns out the way that you expect them to turn out. Me, Jessica, Tanya, Jacob, Andy, Chris, we all came up in here under the pre-notion that, you know, we were coming to investigate some claims that were going on in this house. And what we did find out was there's a lot going on in this house that can't just be done in one investigation. We're going to have to come back again and tie in all of these things. And I think by us going to the cemeteries and all the things around here in Ogden or Roy, I think that eventually the last place is to be the first place that we started in. And so I just want to let everybody know, as respect of the family, you know, Miss Carrie was very, very nice to us. She gave us a lot of history on this house. She gave us a lot of history about her family. And you know what? And me, Jessica, we came through here. We did our psychic thing like we always did. And right here on camera, we're going to be able to show you the evidence that was backed up, that you know what we felt. But as a community and as a family, we feel like we need to come back here again. This is not something that can be done just one time. We have to come back again. So this is the end of part 1 of the Carrie house in Roy, and look for the second part. And I have a feeling that it's going to be our conclusion and our closing once we do the rest of the investigations and everything that we're doing. So thank you for watching us. Subscribe. You can get us on Gorrilla Mafia Media LLC. You can check us out on Instagram at Gorrilla Mafia. You can also check us on on Facebook, same thing, Gorrilla Mafia Entertainment. And just stay tuned, and we're gonna, all these pieces are going to come together, and we're going to figure out what's really going on here in the state of Utah, especially this Ogden area. Peace.